Hello and welcome back. This week at Calm Performance we have the Audi Rs3 back in the garage for some more cool upgrades. The last video was where we put the body kit on this car together with the air intake system. So if you guys haven't seen that amazing video, click up there and make sure you guys have subscribed to Calm Performance and clicked on the bell icon so you guys don't miss amazing content like this. But in this specific video we are going to be putting on a lot of cool parts, starting off with the downpipe, and this is the most consuming or time-consuming part of this entire job, as the prop shaft and a lot of other parts needs to be removed. Once the downpipe has been replaced, we have a sway bar that needs to be replaced, or anti-roll bar for the rear. We have a front-mounted intercooler provided by Forge Motorsports, and this intercooler is absolutely massive. It's so big that the front crash bar or reinforcement bar needs to be modified, but luckily that comes in the kit included. Once that's done, we will be moving on to replacing the internals, the high pressure fuel pump internals, and then last but not least, we have to replace or upgrade all the bushings on the car. And I believe the bushes are provided by Powerflex. So this is going to be a long couple of days project, and I'm absolutely looking forward to this. As I have the exact same parts ordered for my own Audi Rs3. So we'll see how we get on with this kind of installation it fits in. But for now, let me show you guys the kit that we are dealing with and then move on to removing the necessary parts for this install. So let's get customizing. Right, so these are the bushing that's been provided by Powerflex, and each bush comes in its own packaging with a writing on the top telling you where that bush goes, and also a little manual inside each packaging that tells you how to install it and where it's actually installed. So the kits you order will come in a box like that, and then obviously it's pretty straightforward to install those. Moving on, that's the rear sway bar or rear anti-roll bar that we'll be putting in, and next to that is this little box. Now this little box has two really small pieces in there, them two pieces right there, and this is for the high pressure fuel pump internals that we will be upgrading, which is obviously will aid us with the fuel pressures and is a vital part to upgrade. Then moving on, we have the Forge Motorsport parts right here. First is the downpipe that we will be installing, and this is an absolute nightmare of a job to do because the prop shaft goes right through the middle over there, and it's just a nightmare. One of the hardest jobs to do is this downpipe, but surely this is going to change the tone and the sound of the car dramatically, and get that beautiful sound through the car. And then from there, moving on to the intercooler. Like I mentioned earlier, this intercooler is absolutely massive. Well, look, there it is. It's so big that if you look into the reinforcement plate bar or crash bar, is modified for this to fit into place. Obviously you have the pipes there and the fitting kits right there in over there that we will need to fit this in place. But that intercooler is humongous. It's really, really big. And then these are usually made by hands according to the order, and have the order date or the build date stamped on it, who's inspected the intercooler and who it was ordered by. All of that will be on that little label in the corner right there. But Forge Motorsports, absolutely brilliant job, and these parts are really, really well done. So yeah, the next part is to check all these parts, remove the front bumpers and all this stuff. And then start replacing these parts. So everything is going to come off, and then we'll just work in stages one by one to get this car upgraded. But yeah, there she is. Right, so once you have removed the front bumper, we didn't really show how to remove the bumper as we've shown it many times before. So if you guys don't know how to remove the front bumper, just go back and watch one of our other videos. But yeah, moving on from that, once the front bumper is off, you need to remove the front reinforcement bar or the crash bar, whatever you want to call it, which is held with 4 16mm screws on either side, and then you have the horn connected to that on either side as well. So just disconnect the wiring from that, and then underneath that is the intercooler, which is held with 4 torque screws, as well as 1 Jubilee clip on either side, which secures the boost pipe to the intercooler. So we've loosened all the Jubilee clips and the screws. So we're going to remove the intercooler and then remove the crash bar, which is you know, pretty much it just slides out. We've removed all the connectors and all the necessary screws and stuff. Once the intercooler is off, we'll remove all the necessary pipe that we are replacing in this specific install, and then move on to removing the subframes, the control arms, and all the stuff that we need as well. So yeah, let's go. Right, so everything is almost removed. The subframe is literally hanging off. Everything has been removed. The control arm on that side has been removed, and this side still needs to be removed. But as soon as the control arm is removed from this side, that'll be going next door for the bushing and the pressing next door, where we have the press machines and stuff. But for now, it's time for us to remove the prop shaft. And this is the special tool that is needed for the prop shaft removal. Do not screw this part up. This is probably one of the most challenging parts of the entire build right here. But you need a couple of people, so you're gonna call the rest of the lads to come over, give us a hand with this. But the prop shaft needs to be as straight as possible. Do not bend it in the middle where the center bearing is and stuff like that, because the prop shaft alone is about £2,000 on this car. So that's a very expensive apart, and you don't want to screw this one up. So, but hopefully with this tool, it'll be a very straightforward and easy to remove. We can quickly mark here where the current position and stuffs are on the flex disc at the back, and then so he goes in the exact same place as he came off from. But yeah, so without wasting time, I've removed the screws at the back from the rear differentials, and now it's time to screw this one on and then take this prop shaft off the car. So let's go. Right, so we have finally removed the prop shaft, and this is a nightmare to remove. You need a couple of people. Obviously we got a hand from our boy right here, Connor. So you need 2 people or 3 people at least to remove the prop shaft of this car. Once the prop shaft is removed, now we're going to move on to below the car. We're going to remove the clamp from the exhaust cut, and then we're going to move back down, remove the subframe as well, remove that cut, put the downpipe on, and continue the rest of the installation. Move on to the rear subframe as well, remove all the control arms and everything for the bushing replacement. But in terms of the prop shaft, be very careful and keep it as straight as possible, as you don't want to damage this part, as it's very, very expensive. So yeah, that's all done. Next part is to quickly release the clamp from the top. We have to remove the air intake system that we put in the last video, but we'll put that back on just to gain access to the turbo and the cuts, exhaust manifold and the clamps. So yeah, we're going to quickly move on to that, and then yeah, move on to the rest of the stuff. So finally, the cut is out, and this cut is a mission. So the prop shaft has been removed, and it's just right over there somewhere. But yeah, the cut is out. Now we're gonna transfer that Lambda O2 sensor to the downpipe right there, and then put this downpipe back in the car. The clamp has snapped, which is known to snap anyway, but we've already got a replacement for tomorrow morning, as well as the gaskets over there that sits between, you know, the flexi and the mid section of the exhaust. So yeah, that's going to be there tomorrow morning, but we're going to put that back into the car, put all the heat shield, put the prop shaft and all that back in. Tomorrow morning, when the clamps and stuff comes through, we'll then clamp that from the top, as well as, you know, that section right there. At the same time, we've also replaced the front arms, wishbones, Powerflex bushings right there, so as you can see, and that's going to go back on there. So we're going to put that on, put the control arms back on, put the subframe back in its place, because we are done with the front, and then we're going to move on to the rear of the car, replace the rest of the bushes, and then we're going to come back to the front for, you know, the intercooler and all of the stuff right there, and the high pressure fuel pump internals. That's going to be most likely happening tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, we've still got a lot of stuff left on the car, but yeah, let's put this downpipe in the car and all these heat shields and stuff, and then yeah, move on to the back. There you go. Bam. Easy, 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 easy. Right, so we have finally finished putting the downpipe on this car. The downpipe is in place, the prop shaft is back on the car, all the heat shields, everything else, and the subframe is back in its place, and all the bolts are torqued to the factory specs. Together with the front control arms where we replaced the bushing as well. So all of that is in place. But before we move on to the rear, I just want to finish the front of this car. So we're going to move on to the front mounted intercooler. And as you can see, I've already removed the front factory reinforcement crash bar, and I've put on the aftermarket, the Forge Motorsports modified crash bar right there. And the next part for us is to mount the intercooler in place. But before we do that, I want to take off these old boost pipes, and I'm going to put the new provided boost pipes in the kits on this. Then we'll bolt on the intercooler, put the bumper and stuff back on in place. So we are done with the front, and then the only thing that's left for us to do is the rear bushings and the rear sway bar and the high pressure fuel pump, which hopefully will get out the way today as well. So yeah, I just want to finish off the front today, and then we'll move on to the rear of the car, get out the way, and then this guy is then pretty much ready for wheel alignments and then stage 2 map. So let's go.
Just hold on to me. Don't let go of what it was. But you know you found a way. Just hold on to me. You can ask me anything, knows what too much. Ain't a mask. I will tell you all my secrets. No secrets, no secrets. No secrets, no secrets. Darling, can you stop calling? I'm not used to hearing the sound of silence. You turn silent. When did you settle down? Darling, can you stop calling? I'm not used to hearing the sound of silence. You turn silent. When did you settle down? Don't go thinking love is lost. We don't have to watch it fall. We can put back together our hearts, yeah. Don't be scared, just take my hand. So much we can understand. We can let ourselves fall apart. You can ask me anything, knows between us. Ain't a mask. I will tell you all my secrets. No secrets, no secrets. No secrets, no secrets. Darling, can you stop calling? I'm not used to hearing the sound of silence. You turn silent. When did you settle down? Something about you is different, some kind of energy dancing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paradising. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. You can ask me anything that moves between us. Ain't no mask, I'ma tell you all my secrets. No secrets, no secrets. No secrets, calling, and you start calling. And I used to hear in the sound of silence. You turn silent when I let you
Right, so we have finally finished the Audi Rs3 Stage 2 upgrades. All the bushings are in place, the rear sway bar is in place, the downpipe is in place, the high pressure fuel pump internals has been replaced, and that massive Forge Motorsports intercooler together with the boost pipes is in place, and this car right now is screaming for a Stage 2 map. The car does currently sit with the Stage 1 at a solid 410 horsepower and some really solid pops and bangs. We've shown you what sort of pops this car makes, which is extremely loud, absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't seen that video, click up there. But for now, we spent enough days on this car. We are going to quickly perform a road test of the car just to make sure the car is safe and sound before the customer collects it. We will be doing a launch together with a full emergency brake and just usual driving, just to see the car is safe before we give to the customer. The car, however, will still require a 4-way wheel alignment, as we've taken the subframes down and removed the control arms, which would have altered the wheel alignment of this car. But for now, this car is absolutely ready for the Stage 2 power. And slowly this car is like, this car is heading towards the dark side. But yeah, for now, we've spent enough hours on this car, and without wasting any more time, let the test drive commence.
Something about you is different, some kind of energy dancing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paradising. Forever you'll never leave in my veins.
Let the test drive commence. So sweet. I love the start on these cars. They're just so good. Right. So before we begin, we're gonna check everything to make sure there's no plate initially in the steering rack or anything like that. We're gonna move forward slightly, just brake and make sure we have initial braking before we take this on public roads. So yeah, the reason we do the post safety checks is to make sure the car is safe for the customer to drive away, and there's no noises and knocks and bangs and stuff. So and if there is anything, you stop right there, go back, address the issues, and then test drive the car again. So the main thing we are looking out for right now is any sort of squeaking, knocks, bangs, something that doesn't feel right. If nothing feels right, just stop it right there, do not push it, and go back and rectify that specific problem. So we're going to be looking out for quite a few things. The car will still need a wheel alignment because we did drop the subframe. Right, this. And there's another Rs3 right here, so we'll be working on that one soon as well. But just the general drivability of the car, we want to listen for everything. We want to full lock it. We want to go around the turn to make sure the car is, you know, sitting right. So there's quite a few stuff involved. It's a nice, easy test, but just for safety. We will be doing a full emergency brake and stuff, but make sure you do that on a public land and not on a main road, so you don't put someone else's safety at risk. But for now, we're just doing the normal. So going around a bend. Yeah, nothing's all good, it's all solid. The steering wheel is pretty solid as well, you know. There's no play, nothing like that. So we're still gonna post test. So once we get back to the garage, we're gonna put it on the ramp and then have a look to make sure everything is still tight before, you know, we hand it over to the customer. He'll be here shortly. He's currently on his way to collect the car. So yeah, should be fun. But these cars are absolutely mental, crazy. Smooth, blessed, very nice car, very well looked after by this owner. I'm not too sure about the previous owner of this car, the history, but this current owner does look after his cars really well. We will link his Instagram page, so if you want to follow the journey of this car, head over to Instagram and give him a quick follow, and you're going to keep up with the journey of this car and see how it goes on and stuff. So yeah, it's very, very nice. We're going to lower the window slightly, and we're going to be listening out for what we do a full turn here. Right, yes. Smooth, very nice. Just what we like to hear and what we like to see. Now let's hear the actual sound of this car. It's pretty good. It's decent. The sounds are nice. Oh, this is where these cars come into life. Sports mode, you know, it's just, these cars are so good. I cannot literally wait for my Audi Rs3 to come and to start the project on that one. The A45 is amazing. It's a really nice car. But these cars are just, in comparison, maybe it's just the drivetrain of these cars. The drivetrain definitely gives us that extra slight edge over the other cars. So, but you know what, I've already got one anyway, so can't wait to start work on that. But ooh, that filter we've added, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that makes such a nice sound. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds amazing. Right. Woo! Very nice. You guys can probably tell by the smile on my face that drives beautifully. And in terms of, if you look into the tracking and stuff, absolutely we haven't messed about with the track rod ends and stuff, and we usually mark the original location, but usually the tracking is still off by, let's say, a couple of millimeters, or maybe just a millimeter, or maybe even less, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's, you know, it's going straight. The steering wheel is pretty solid, no bent or anything like that. However, we still recommend the car to be put through wheel alignment just to check to make sure that wheel are still aligned. It's so smooth. It's very, very nice. These cars are absolutely amazing. Wow. But that's what I mean, it's a little thing. So in this video we put the downpipe on the car, which obviously makes a huge difference to the loudness and the tone of that exhaust. It's much more loud, I would say, and clearer, and it's just sensational altogether. The exhaust sound on this car is ridiculous, and the pops and bangs that it makes is absolutely insane. Hopefully the car will be going for the stage 2 map and some more upgrades maybe in the future, and this car is heading towards the dark side like I mentioned, but maybe it's for the good. But there's a spider. Oh boy! How did he get in? Right, sunshine, stay there, yeah? I'll delude you in a minute. Seriously. It lifts off like a rocket. This car lifts off like something I've never seen before. It's like, oh my god, this is insane. Oh, right, there was something there. Maybe that's the exhaust. Sensational, absolutely sensational. And now you can hear the exhaust as well. Oh! That is sweet. That is beautiful. You know what? I'm fully satisfied. This car is approved. He can collect the car. We're quickly going to check it back into the garage now. It's post-test everything. But, oh my god, I can't believe this. I literally can't believe this car pulls like that AMG pulls, but that's a different pull to this pull. Ooh. Well, let's go into so comfort mode, very quiet, and then the dynamic on this is where the fun begins. Anyway, the guy should be here roughly probably about half an hour or so. So we're gonna get this ready for him for the collection, and also we have about 7-8 other cars waiting because this car dragged slightly, so we had to push other bookings forward. But yeah, we're gonna crack on with the next car, and yeah. So back to the garage. Right, so as you guys just saw, the way this car puts the power down is absolutely insane, and it's gonna get even more crazier. But for now, we have done all the post test drive safety checks and everything is spot on. The only thing that's left on this car right now is to get the 4-way wheel alignments and then be strapped to the dyno for the stage 2 map. At some point we will be having a face-off of this Audi Rs3 with my A45 AMG. So if you guys want to see that video, make sure you guys have subscribed to Cam Performance and clicked on the bell icon so you guys don't miss when that video is aired. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching it. Make sure you hit that like button, share this with your friends, and we will see you on the next one.